Hi team, hi viewers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Where are you are? Today we are going to learn about introduction to Amazon Web Services. So first of all, I want to let you know all people about what is Amazon Web Services. So for this, in this video, we will going to cover overview of Amazon Web Services and the benefits of using Amazon Web Services, what you can do with Amazon Web Services, creating and setting up an AWS account. These four things we are going to cover. So in this first one, we will take overview of an Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services is a platform of web services that offers solutions for computing, storing and networking at different layers of abstraction. For example, you can use block level storage and you can use object storage, means high level of abstraction to store your data. You can use these services to host your applications, means like business applications or else your personalized web applications. And moreover, with web services are accessible via internet by using a web protocol using HTTP by machines or humans through UI. And moreover, it is providing some services like EC2, which offers virtual machines, and S3, which offers storage capacity. So we are going to learn AWS from the scratch, and we are the pricing model for the services is pay per use in the AWS. So as an AWS customer, you can choose among different data centers. AWS data centers are divided or else distributed worldwide, means like I will show, this is the Amazon website itself, aws.amazon.com. so here if you see, right, this is the global network of AWS regions. Here you can start a virtual machine in Germany in exactly the same way you would start one in India. This enables you to serve customers worldwide with a global infrastructure. Here if you observe the map, which is the global network of the Amazon Web Services, so many in Canada and USA and Israel and UAE and India. Here you are able to see, right, this color, this is the coming soon, and this bluish one is like already existing one. In India, means present our video is showing from India, right? So in India it's got launched at 2016 itself. We have availability zones of 3. Here you are able to see, right, availability zones of 3. So these are the regions you are able to see in the global way. So we have additional data centers, like US, Sweden, Hong Kong and Bahrain, and some data centers were there in the China also, but we have some special conditions there in the China actually, based on the land law, because in a China the law is different, so it applicable something differs in compared to India. And some data centers were only for government, like in USA the government will use some data centers, so the conditions and terms will different for that actually. So when we are going to deep about Amazon Web Services, we should learn about what is cloud computing. So what is cloud computing? In the sense, the IT resources in the cloud aren't directly visible to the user, first of all, because like whatever EC2 machine or else whatever the load balancer, those things we are not seeing those things actually. It's a layers of abstraction in between actually. The level of abstraction offered by the cloud varies from offerings virtual machines to provide software as services based those systems. So in a one sentence, like National Institute of Standards of Technology is defined in one sentence like cloud computing is a model for enabling convenient on-demand network access to shared pool of configurable computing resources. Means have a pool of resources like networks, virtual machines, storages, applications and services that can be rapidly provisioned. Provisioned means we can rapidly take over it. Means we can, suppose we want 10 EC2 machines, so we can rapidly increase the 10, we can start the 10 EC2 machines in a span of 5 minutes and release it with a minimal management effort or a service provider interaction. So clouds are often divided into 3 types actually. We should know about we are using public one or else private one or else hybrid model. So as of now AWS is like a public one. How I am defining in the sense, public means a cloud managed by an organization and open to use by the general public. So that is the definition of public model. So AWS is for all actually, means anyone can access the AWS with a who have a account in the AWS. Private in the sense, a cloud that virtualizes and distribute the IT infrastructure for a single organization. Means one organization is there, it got developed cloud and it is used for them only. So that is the private one. Hybrid in the sense, you know, right, it's a mixture of public and private cloud. So now we are going only on the public cloud way, like in a AWS only. So AWS providing some computing services for us, like infrastructure as services and a platform as services, software as service. So in the infrastructure as service in the sense, it will provide computing, storage and networking capabilities for us, like virtual machines like Amazon EC2 or else Google Compute Engine, like that. So that coming as a infrastructure as service. Platform as a service means it will provide platforms to deploy custom applications. Means like, you know, AWS Elastic Beanstalk, Google App Engine, like that. Software as a service in the sense, it will provide some combines infrastructure and software running in for the cloud. Means like Amazon Workspaces, Microsoft Office 365. Those things will come it as a software as service. So what can we do with AWS? So we will take an example and move ahead, then you will get a clear picture on what we are talking about. So hosting a web example, we have one application like a restaurant application. So we want to host that application. So first we will go by from inside the company, means inside the organization we have some data center and we are going in that way. First, suppose we have one person is there, take an example like Karthik is a CIO of medium sized e-commerce business application. So he wants to develop fast and reliable restaurant application. He initially decided to host the restaurant on premises, and 3 years ago he rented machines in a data center, and in the data center a web server will handle the request from the customers and data store. Means like they have a database like NoSQL or else RDS, means relational database. Those things they have to store, they have for the storing the data of the customers, means like orders and all. So Karthik want to take a next step means in the infrastructure way, like he wants to take advantage of the AWS by running the same setup on the AWS which he has already. So he wants now how he want to go in the sense, he in that restaurant application he has some dynamic content and he has some static content. Take an example, like dynamic content in the sense that inventory means whatever the items he has, that is the dynamic one, means every day it will change, it will update. But static content in the sense the company logo and the items images and all, those are the static content. So splitting these up would reduce the load on the web servers and improve the performance by delivering the static content over the content delivery network. Here if you see, right, I will show you. Yeah, here if you see, we have a CDN, content delivery network. So let me take a new slide. Yeah, and delete this one. And take it like this, guys. Yeah, so this is the entire AWS, and inside of he wants to connect here with let me do in this way. Here if you think, this is the entire AWS one. So just type AWS. This is the AWS, and what we want is we have one user just like, okay, consider it as a user. This is the user and this is the internet. So he wants to take advantage, like he wants to take advantage of DNS. Domain name service, and he wants to take advantage of content delivery network, and again you want to take advantage of S3, just like an object store, or else any spreadsheet, but as of now just take an example. And here we have DB. And here we have web server. And here we have load balancer. So how it will in the sense it will be like in the S3 it will take to the CDN. From the CDN it will be like both arrow actually. From the CDN to DNS. Here web service will connect to the database and load balancer will connect to our virtual machine, means like our web server, and load balancer will connect to the domain name server, and user will connect to the internet. So now if you consider here, right, so user will connect to the AWS via internet. Internally AWS have APIs actually. If we consider all those things for services, in the sense we have a API actually. API. Then from the internet they will connect to the API. API will do this here, will do this here, and do this here, and do this here. S3. Yeah. These are the things will come via AWS. Means here if you see, right, you can use the benefits of the content delivery network. Like it will be like it will improve the performance first of all, and here he will take advantage of the load balancer. So no need to it's like a maintenance free first of all, and database also, like, and you know S3 it's like a bucket object store, and web server, but we have to take the web server because we, you know, updates and monitoring, those things we should maintain actually. So, and DNS, domain name server, so he will take care of the already existing function services which were there in the AWS. He will simply use the AWS one, and he will take his business to the next level. Means he will just concentrate on the business only, no need to concentrate on the infrastructure and all. So this is a benefit from the AWS first of all. It's not only AWS, it will be benefit from the cloud itself, but compared to other service providers, AWS have some more functionalities and some more services actually. It is the leading cloud provider in the market. And you know, we have a suppose example in a theoretical way, in a company, in a global corporation, in some company, one senior architect is there. So he wants to move his business applications to the AWS, because you know so many companies nowadays wants to move from their infrastructure to the cloud actually, because it will be like lesser price, and as well as maintenance free somewhat. So that's why most of them wants to move their applications to AWS, means like cloud. So his applications were based on the Java EE, means like enterprise applications, means like a Spring Boot, means microservices. So he is using like SQL and as well as means like relational database and as well as NoSQL databases. So in take an example from the AWS, we have a RDS for the relational database segment, and for the NoSQL segment we have a DynamoDB. So and in the AWS they will provide virtual machines, means like EC2 in a AWS terminology. So they will provide EC2. We can deploy our application there, and already we can configure like whatever. If you use Oracle or else Postgres coming to the RDS, so he will take over there. And if you use NoSQL database like MongoDB, in the sense he will configure from the DynamoDB. And here how we can connect, in the sense we can configure from the means in the architecture way. How we can do, in the sense AWS in the sense we will first create a one which virtual private network, means virtual network, VPC. So in that VPC we should do some subnets, means like in a overall reasonable way. I'm just explaining. So in the VPC we should configure the some private subnets in the sense like for the database one private subnet, for the enterprise application we have deployed in the virtual machines, right? So there we will configure for the one subnet. How then inside of the VPC, how we should connect from one subnet to one subnet, in the sense from the virtual machine, whichever Java EE application is running, from that to database we will connect to a private subnet. We shouldn't expose our database directly to the outside world, because it will, if we expose, in the sense data will update or else data will misuse. The outside people who have access, they will do some misuses. So that's why we will we will connect only to the enterprise application only, like Java EE application, through the private subnet. And from that private subnets we will expose to the outside world via internet, is like internet gateway, means like we have a NAT in the sense network address translation. It will control the traffic by using the firewall rules and network translation rules. So that is the one architecture as a simple and feasible way. So and moreover AWS is not for not for maintenance free, not it will reduce the cost also, like while on the infrastructure point of view. And yeah, we can do automation also, like enable automation, means AWS will expose the APIs for everything, means like we have CloudFormation templates like from the Terraform and Ansible. So we can do in a span of minutes we can up the infrastructure, we can down the infrastructure, means like start and stop. So it will expose some APIs. So through APIs we should do some CloudFormation templates. The CloudFormation templates we should execute from the Jenkins, means like a continuous we should include in the Jenkins pipeline. And once you hit the Jenkins, it will just trigger the AWS APIs. Means like flexible scalability and reliability. And coming to here in the free tier, in the sense AWS will give 750 hours to free tier to learn and experiment what you want in the AWS. So billing and all we should we will take next level. Yeah, it's like we can manage every services in the AWS via API. Like coming to compute, we have virtual machines, app like search RLs queues, enterprise ones like mail services, directory services. For the storage one, we have object store and archives. Archives in the sense like 6 months data, after 6 months like snow something or the right. And databases like RDS and DynamoDB like relational and NoSQL, networking, DNS and virtual network. So these are all those things were on top of the hardware. Hardware in the sense like hardware for computing, storing and networking is the foundation for the AWS cloud. AWS services runs on this hardware only, like a compute, network and storage, like whatever services I just defined. I think so. Yeah, whatever the services were there in the sense we should explore from the products point of view. Like if you see here featured services, Amazon EC2, Amazon simple storage services, Amazon or Amazon DynamoDB. It's like a high performance managed relational database, managed NoSQL database, managed relational database services for MySQL, Postgres, Oracle SQL Server and MariaDB. AWS Lambda, it's like just serverless one. We will go deep after some tutorials. Amazon VPC, isolated cloud resources, Amazon Lightsail and Amazon Maker. So these things we will go one by one. And for the analytics, Amazon Athena, it's like a SQL one, that too querying from the S3DB, S3 RLs Redshift. So many computer ones in the sense like EC2, Elastic Beanstalk, Lambda, Post databases in the sense DynamoDB, Elastic Cache. Elastic Cache in the sense it's like in-memory cache. We will use infrequently, like Amazon Memory DB for Redis. Developer tools, IAM Code, IAM Clone, IAM Code Shell. Yeah, so many are there actually. We will learn one by one. Yeah, create an AWS account. You should use sign up for AWS root use for account recovery and some administrative functions. Root user email address. We should give some email address here, like whatever you have. Account name, it will be like different one. Name account, you can change this name. Account settings after you sign up. So give some name, whatever you enter by the some organization name or else your name, because it is a root credentials. After giving one, verify email address, or else you are an existing AWS account user in the sense just sign into that. If you are AWS existing user in the sense, you will not get a 750 hours for the free tier actually. Means free hours you will not get. Means if you have already expired that one. So we will go inside of this verify email address and sign up for the AWS in the next lecture. Thank you for your support.